Oh, hello. I was just having a perfectly normal day, and then I realised that AwSHUX, the world's first and only online board game convention, is happening today, on Friday the 16th of October, and Saturday the 17th, and Sunday the 18th. Why aren't you there now? You're gonna be soon, because I'm gonna tell you all about the exciting things that are happening today at AwSHUX, the best online board game convention. At 4 PM BST and 11 AM EDT, we've got a live version of the Shut Up and Sit Down podcast. Live! We're going to be talking about all kinds of games, we're not that prepared, and we're going to make mistakes. So stay tuned for those. They're live and real and happening. Then, immediately after, Matt and Clay from Capstone are going to be demoing Curious Cargo, the new game from Ryan Courtney. He made Pipeline, and that was my first video for Shut Up and Sit Down. Anyway, I'm excited to see how that one shakes out at 6 PM BST and 1 PM EDT. Then, at 7 PM BST, 2 PM EDT, we're looking at the remastered version of Side Reel Confluence. Wow! I'm gonna tell you that some of the pieces in this one look just like Werther's originals, and that should be enough to whet any granddad's appetite. At 8 PM BST, 3 PM EDT, we're gonna kill a bug! It's Aliens Bug Hunt from Upper Deck, a game about surviving the world's worst alien infestation. It's gonna be scary, and it's gonna be spooky, and speaking of scary and spooky, at 9 and 4 we're gonna be playing The Night Cage, a game about being stuck in the dark in a maze. I'm scared already! At 10 PM BST and 5 PM EDT, Quinns and Tom Vassell are gonna go head to head to decide who is more wrong. My money is on... Then, 11:15 in the UK and 6:15 in some of the America, we've got Champion of the Wild with ProZDP and Jonathan Ying and Pip! And then it's the end of the night. At 1 AM BST, 8 PM EDT, Matt will be challenging real-life artists at a Fake Artist Goes to New York. He'll be real-life sleepy and probably real-life bad at drawing. And that is all for AwSHUX's cool Friday schedule. We'll be updating you on Saturday as well with another hot serving of cool content. What's that cool content gonna look like, I wonder? Well, if only we had an imaginary broadcast for illustrative purposes.
Hello and welcome. It's been a long time since I have played a game of chess, and I'm very excited to have a game of chess, more than one game of chess probably, over the weekend. AwSHUX, our first ever digital convention. Of course, I'm going to be spending 90% of it playing games of chess. I don't really remember how to play chess, which means I'm having a refresher course from one of the industry's foremost game teachers. It's Jeff from the Dragon's Tomb. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Really excited to be here and play this classic game with you. But yeah, if you want, I'm happy to just dive into the rules and refresh you if you haven't played in a while.
Awesome. Let's do it.
In chess, we play as rival kingdoms in the 16th century. And back then, you could tell how prosperous a kingdom was by looking at how many times the prince has gotten married. So the more marriages, the more noble the kingdom must be. And so basically, our kingdoms are competing to have our prince get married the quickest.
I'm fascinated by that period of history, really, and I think it was in that period that they actually invented the divorce, wasn't it? Just so a prince could repeatedly just bam, 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 marry, get rid of, marry, get rid of.
Yeah,
and they realized that they didn't have to wait for them to die of natural causes or leave of their own accord. It was a game changer.
Yeah, I think it was originally called beheading, and then they eventually changed it to divorce. So in chess, and this part isn't true to history, but in chess, our princes are very, very picky. They're not just going to marry anybody. So we have 6 potential suitors for them. And basically, these suitors have to impress the prince. Once the prince is impressed, then they will wed. In the bottom left, so this is the prince. This is the prince that we are trying to make. That one is yours. Yep. And then I'll introduce the suitors to you, and then I'll explain how they need to impress the prince. So next to the prince here, we have the prince's horse. This is the prince's horse. This is the city builder. This is actually a bazooka, not one of the suitors. We can actually put our bazooka off to the side. That'll be used later. And then next to that, this is the soccer goalie. Right over here is the soccer goalie.
Football, if you live in the UK.
This was made in '96 before England took soccer and renamed it football. So when Alan.
Yes. So technically, yes.
Yeah. And then next to the soccer goalie, this is the dancer. Looks a lot like the builder, but there are some key differences, which I'll get to later. Same here. This is the demon horse. And finally, this is the prince's twin right over here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6 suitors we each have that are trying to wed the prince. And so basically what we're going to be doing, it's almost like a series of mini games. So on your turn, you can pick any one of the 6 suitors you would like to try to impress the prince with. And each one has their own little game that they'll try to impress with. So for the horse, if you choose the horse, what you're going to do
not the demon horse. Just
the regular horse. The normal horse.
Right. I choose the horse.
For the horse, you'll put them in your courtyard, and your courtyard is sort of this little area here. Like I have my courtyard, you have your own courtyard. Yeah. And then you'll put the prince on top of the horse. Usually, it's much easier to do in real life than a tabletop simulator, but we'll have to make do like this.
It's so clunky, right?
Yeah. Just the balancing feels a little bit off. But it works. So it will be one at a time. So if I choose the horse, your horse will not be going at the same time. But basically what I'll do, I'll have them set up like this. And then it is my job to get the horse around my courtyard by literally moving the horse into every spot as quick as I can. So I have to pick it up, drop it, go around, and I got to go into a full circle, dropping in every spot till I get...
What happens... And now there's a rule here, I remember. What happens if you accidentally drop it on one of these characters here instead of... There's definitely a rule up there, isn't there? It's like an outside thing where if you do bump these... Or am I thinking of a different game?
I think you're thinking of checkers. I think checkers. You will... So we have the flick option in Tabletop Simulator. You'll actually take... So the front row is all of the peasants of the city. And you'll be taking the peasant and you'll be trying to flick it at my horse.
Of course, I knew that they had something to do with the courtyard. It's checkers. I'm just
and they look very similar. So
Ooh,
so as I go around, you are trying to knock them off. If you knock them off, you can use as many peasants as you like. Oh, there you go. So that would have counted, and my horse would have had to stop there. And so next we have the builder, and the builder's a little bit similar to the horse, except instead of going around the courtyard, he's building a tower with the peasants. Once I have it like that, that is the end of the challenge. And again, instead of flicking, for this one, you're going to actually take your peasants and throw them. This one has to be a throw. So horses flick. This one you got to throw. Yeah. And you can try to knock it off. And same rules. If you knock over my tower at any point, I stop at that square and I can pick up there on my next turn. Next up, we have the soccer goalie. If you choose the soccer goalie, if you ever played paper football,
have I?
So you're gonna take your goalie. You gotta get them so they go across up. So he's only halfway across there, so that's a little bit too far. And it's basically you're gonna try to flick until the goalie crosses the line like that a little bit.
Okay.
And you get each turn, you get 3 flicks. If you don't get it within 3 flicks, it goes to the next person, but the goalie will stay where they were.
They'll stay there, yeah.
Turn. Yep. Next up, we have the dancer. So when you choose the dancer, you put the dancer next to the prince. And they're basically just going to have a little dance. So what you do for this is you're going to hover over your dancer. And you're going to have them... You're going to hit the E button on your computer and have them start spinning. And you got to close your eyes.
Well, I close my eyes, yeah?
And you close your eyes. And then what you're trying to do is while your eyes are closed, you have to release the E button. The dancer stops spinning. And you want to make it so that the dancer's mouth is facing towards the prince. So if you release it... For the kiss.
For the kiss.
Yes.
I didn't quite manage it. I'm gonna kiss your prince, which obviously we didn't do this simultaneously in the game, but it's still an amusing observation within this fictional game state. You know, I'd forgotten so many of these rules. It's been great. It's great to have a refresher like this.
Next up, we have the demon horse. So the demon horse. So before the game, in my courtyard area, I'm going to pick actually one spot to be the dungeon. Okay. And you're going to pick one spot in yours. So if I choose the demon horse, I have 3 tries to try to find your dungeon. So I take the horse and I'll put it there. You tell me if it's in the dungeon. And I go, I remember
this rule.
Yes.
It's not my dungeon.
Yes. This was featured in your, what was the penguin game video, I believe.
Yes.
So
this rule particularly, I adore it. Come on, have a third guess. Have a third guess. I know we're not playing, but
right there.
You got it. That's where my dungeon is.
Perfect. So great for the example. So this is where the bazooka would come in. Normally it would be the bazooka would be on its side. I haven't figured out how to get it to. I can make it tip over like that, but I can't move it next to it. But basically, it's not important. Basically, the demon horse is going to use the bazooka to try and knock over at least 3 of your pieces. So from here, I can just take a peasant, and this is your choice. You can flick or throw, but you'll take a peasant, and so there. I hit 2 of them there, so that would count as 2. And then next turn, if I hit 1 more, it basically just has to equal 3. So if I get 2 on one turn, I've got to wait till my next turn to get the 3rd if I miss. The final one. So if you choose the twin, so you will actually put your prince and its twin here. And then this is actually on me. So this one is your prince, this is the twin. And it's my job. It's basically like the cup scam. I'm gonna mix them up, and you gotta keep track of which one is the prince. So I'll do my best to mix them up. And then at the end, you have to guess which one is the actual prince. If you get it right, then
where'd you get your mouse from, Jeff? That was faster than the speed of light. I've got no idea.
It says Microsoft on it, so it's just
whoa. Somebody's earning.
That's basically it. It is normally it's the 1st to 6. You can always adjust it to 1st to 4 suitors. And just the final rule before we finish. So after each task, after each person or suitor completes their task, after they're done, you put them in the center of your courtyard, and then the prince you have to give a little kiss like this, or however you want to do. You can click N to nudge. Give a little kiss, and that just seals the marriage, and you can go back to playing. Yeah, the little kiss is always really satisfying, so I'm upset it's not as clear here, but I think the intent is still there.
Do you want to have a quick little test around? Just like first to 2 or something? See if we can just get a sense for it? Okay. Okay. Oh, is that not quite? Got you. Jeff, is this your dungeon?
This is not my dungeon.
Jeff, it is I, the devil horse. Is this your dungeon?
It is not my dungeon.
Jeff, it is I, the demon steed. Is this your dungeon?
That is my dungeon. Yeah. I think that got 3 because this one did hit this one.
Okay, well that's
successfully.
That's a successful horse kiss. I think like we can call it there and just say that I won that game. Obviously, usually you play to 6 or something, but I got a point, so we'll just say that I won that game. Yeah, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Like just because you're the expert at chess, it doesn't mean that you have to be embarrassed that I just beat you at chess. So that's great. I think that's great for everyone.
I mean, I think that's what's part of the appeal of chess is it is so accessible. Newcomers can be just as competitive as old pros.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly not something you'd ever play at like championship level or anything for that reason, but a great game nonetheless. Well, thank you so much. That is incredible. I'm now going to just jump in and have a fantastic weekend with my friends playing chess over this AwSHUX weekend. And I'll see you as well in Chess Town. Thanks again to Jeff from the Dragon's Tomb. You've got to check it out. If you want to learn more about games like chess, his explanations of how to play games and getting all the rules right are just par to none, frankly. Really, really incredible resource. So do check that out. And thank you again, Jeff, for joining us.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. I hope you learned something today.
I learned a lot of things. I'm going to need to go and have a lie down. We'll see you again. Goodbye.